Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, y'all. We are here today for lesson 1 of the 4 elements to authentic connection. Now, this is something that we're going to be training on 4 days in a row. Today, Monday, is the first day. We'll train on visibility today, and then we will have 3 other elements on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you haven't already, mark your calendars right now to be with us live on the Zoom, same Zoom that you're on at this moment. We will be on Zoom so that we can have interaction today through Thursday. And then starting next week, we are going to be starting a simple power hour. It will also be at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it will be live on Team Tiny Pants Builders. So this week we wanted it on a Zoom so that we can turn it into a YouTube and be able to share it, but also so that we will have an opportunity to share information at the end. So if you have questions, and if we get to the end and I have not answered them, please hold those and let me know at the end what those questions are. We want to make sure that we're covering everything for those that are going to come afterward that will be learning the same thing. So to start today with the first element of authentic connection, I want to share with you very briefly what my story has looked like. When I first started as a Zingular partner, I didn't have any idea what I was doing, but I was very visible. I was visible because I was excited. So I was sharing a lot on Facebook. I was visible because I was working a full-time job. So I was interacting with people face to face, and I was talking to everyone. I was what we would call a partner butterfly. You know, you've heard of what a social butterfly, just flitting around everywhere, talking to everyone. I naturally did that because I was excited that I had my health back and I was excited about what the products could do. Then I left the workplace like some of you have. Actually, hopefully, honestly, hopefully not all of you have, because guess what? When you're working, when you're in the workplace, you see people, you have the opportunity to talk to people. And then what happens with a lot of us when we move to full-time Zingular, for some reason, I don't know why, we feel like that all of our interaction now becomes computer to computer or device to device. And so we have to change the way that we do things. We have to be very social online if that occurs. But I got to the point that I wasn't interacting with a multitude of people. I was only interacting with a lot of the same people. I do a lot of trainings, which I love doing. That's part of my pillars. I mean, that's who I am. That's what I love. I love to teach. But I started having a lot of people friend me. After we would get off of a training like this, a lot of people would friend me, and I didn't want to not accept every friend. So the next thing you know, all my friends on Facebook are already Zingular partners. Okay. And that's who I was interacting with. And with the way that the algorithms work, all I was seeing was posts of other Zingular people and probably vice versa. So that wasn't a great way to be visible to people who weren't already my Zingular customers or my Zingular partners. So with that in mind, I want to talk today about visibility and how social media works and how you have to become a social media butterfly in order to be successful in this business. It's something that you have to do. It's okay if you're an introvert. It's okay, but you have to be social on social media or you will not succeed in this business through what we're going to be talking about. So what I want for you to be able to fill your pipeline, you might call it your funnel. I want you to be able to fill your pipeline, but I want for you to do it in a genuine, sincere, and authentic way. I don't want Zingular partners to be those weird people. I want us to be genuine, sincere, and authentic in our interactions. I think part of the fear and the apprehension that we have is that we don't want to be weird. We don't want to come across as inauthentic. We want to just be who we are, and that's what we're going to work on doing, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. I want you to be visible. I want you to give value and start conversations, because conversations over time is what fills your pipeline. So not at one point I had a partner, and I said, okay, we're getting close to the end of the month. I want you to share with me your top 5 hottest prospects to be a customer or a partner by the end of the month. And my particular partner at that time said, well, I don't really have any hot leads. I said, okay, well, tell me about your warm leads. Let's look at your funnel. And what had happened to her, and what has also happened to me, is that I didn't have anyone in my pipeline. I didn't have anyone I was talking to. And if you don't have anyone that you're talking to, it's a lot of stress. And you constantly feel like you're spinning your wheels. And that's when you become burnout in this business. So, what we have to do is we have to work on making sure that we feel our pipeline. And we're going to do that through visibility. So, I do want to invite you, not right now, don't do it right now, but at some point, I do want you to go and look at my feed. I want you to see how it's changed over the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or so. I want you to look at my feed and what it looks like. What I am doing right now, y'all, I'm spending all my time trying to work on my social media algorithms and being visible. So when you have a chance, go and take a look at my feed. Now, let me stop right here and say that everything I'm going to be training on today is about Facebook. Okay. This is about Facebook. Facebook is where people are social and they can interact with one another, and where the algorithms are going to make the biggest difference in what I'm teaching you. This is the network that you're already in. Okay. So what we're going to be talking about is how you can be visible to the networks that you're already in. I can guarantee you right now, if you're not going and commenting and being visible and being that social media butterfly with the people that are your friends, they're not seeing your stuff. Just because they're your friend or your follower does not mean that they see the content that you put out there. If you're not seeing their things on your feed, they're not seeing yours. If you scroll through your feed and most of what you see, or half or even a quarter of what you see, is people that are other Zingular partners, then you're in trouble and you really need to listen to what I'm going to be teaching today. Okay. That's where I was, and that's what I had to do. I do want to give credit where credit is due. I have followed for a while a leader. Her name is Kristen Boss, and she's a trainer in the network marketing industry. And what I have learned from her has really helped me. And I did that for myself. I needed to invest in myself. I needed a solution to help me get out of being a social media wallflower and become a social media butterfly. That's my terminology, not hers. But I want to give credit where credit's due. I've learned a lot of things that, and some of that has informed what I'm teaching you today. But that's the way that social media works. Social media works in that when you're interacting on their things, they're going to see your content. You want someone to see your content specifically, you go interact on their social media, comment, ask open-ended questions, like their stuff, and they will start to see your things. Having messages and Messenger works the same way, but the best way to do it with the Facebook algorithms is for you to go and comment and be in a conversation with them, and then the algorithms say, oh, they really know each other. They're actually being social on social media. Therefore, they're going to see your content. And this is all about visibility. Remember, today's about visibility and them getting their eyes on your Facebook page. Okay. That's how social media works. Don't be a social media wallflower, be a social media butterfly. If you can imagine that we were in a room right now and you walked into the room and you kept your back against the wall, not talking to anyone, how many genuine, authentic conversations do you think you would have? It works the same way. If you're a wallflower, if you're over there with your back stuck against the wall in a room, then you're not going to get to have a lot of conversations. But if you walk around and you become that social media butterfly in this scenario, if you walk around the room and you talk to people, what if I went up to Jana and I said, hi, I'm here. And that was it. It would get really awkward really fast. But if I said, "Oh, Janet, tell me a little bit about your family," then of course, that's probably like most of us that are moms and grandmothers and wives and sisters and daughters. We love talking about our family. And then at once she tells me, if I say, "Well, have you, when's the last time y'all had a really fun time together? What do y'all like to do together?" Do you see how when you're asking questions, it keeps the conversation going? It works the same way in your social media, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. I want you to get really consistent having conversations with your existing market. Okay, this is really important. I am not talking to you right now about brand new people that you don't know that are just as cold as ice. I'm not talking about your cold market. I'm talking about your existing market. I don't know how many friends you have right now. We're gonna help you increase that. But if you're new and you only have 300 to 500 friends, guess what? You can start getting into conversations with those 300 to 500 people. You're going to be selective in who those people are going to be. We're going to talk about that today as well. But you're going to get into conversations with those people as you gradually add more friends. But you're going to get into conversations with your existing market. That's where we're going to start. So there's a document. If you were, hopefully you were part of our regional roadshow this last weekend. There's a document that Carlos shared with us, and you don't have to have this right now, but I do want you to know this. He talked about remembering your why as you start your week. He also talked about describing your ideal business partner. So as you get ready to implement, let me say that again, implement, let me say it a third time, implement what I'm going to teach you today. Please do not just learn and not do anything with it, right? You can't do that. You only get results by doing. You only get results by doing. You can't just learn all the time and never implement. So as you start to implement what I'm teaching you, I want you to start this week thinking about your why. I just want you to remind yourself of what your why is and also who your ideal customer or business partner is. That's going to help inform you to know who to interact with and engage with on social media so that you get into those conversations. Y'all, this is the long game. Okay, let me tell you the difference between what we're doing here and the short game. This is the long game. This is learning how to become visible in your network on Facebook so that after you learn and connect all four of the elements this week, you'll have a framework for the first hour of work that removes confusion and overwhelm. We want to remove confusion and overwhelm. We don't want you to sit down to work because you really do want to work and be successful. And you're scrolling Facebook, but in looking for someone to talk to, and you really don't know what to do. We're going to give you this framework, and it's going to remove the confusion and overwhelm. But what it doesn't remove, please hear me say this, it does not remove the discipline or the work. Knowing what to do, but not working on your discipline and doing the work, you will not be able to be successful. I think this team right here is probably the best trained team in this company. At least I believe we're very, very well trained in a lot of different elements. However, if you don't do the work, it doesn't matter how much you know. Okay. So I want you to hear that. You have to do the work. We have to stop looking for the next easy fix and just decide to do the work. And we've decided that. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're spending 4 days teaching the four elements of this particular conversation starter to get your framework to this framework, to get your funnel full. That's why we're doing that. That's why several of your leaders are willing to facilitate a power hour 4 days a week. Actually, well, 4 days a week, but 5 times a week, 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and also a 7:30 on Tuesday evenings. We've already got it scheduled, y'all, for the next 5 weeks. We're here. We're showing up to do this with you. The reason that we're doing that is because we want for you to be successful. And if you'll show up, that's the discipline part. And then if you'll do the work, because we're going to tell you exactly what to do during that hour, then that's going to help you to be successful. This is a long game, not the short game. What's the short game? The short game is you become a new partner. We all became a new partner, or we wouldn't be on here. You become a new partner, you do your onboarding, you figure out your why, and then you schedule when your work time is going to be, how much time you're willing to commit, and then you work on a list of your top prospects, people that know you and love you already and trust you and that want to join you. And we already have that framework. Okay, we already have what to do in the short game to hit the ground running and to get your quick start. We already have that. What I'm teaching you this week, this is the long game. This is what you are going to do for 1 hour per day, every day. Whether for you that might be your long game, power hour. It may be 1 hour 6 days a week. It may be 5 days a week. It may be 4 days a week. Some of you may do 7 days a week, but whatever it is, minimum of 4 hours a week is going to have you working. Your numbers are going to be out of this world, the number of connections that you're going to get to be in. But y'all, nothing happens without a connection. If you are not in conversations, nothing happens. Nothing. Conversations lead to conversion. Those are your getting your sales and getting your new business partners. But if you're not in conversations, nothing happens. That's where it starts. That's when we're focusing on that. 1 hour a day over time, minimum of 4 days a week. But if you do 5, 6, 7, that's great. That's going to put you into hundreds of conversations, and conversations equal sales. But conversations come first. No conversations, no one to sell to. Okay. I think we've covered that. You only get results by doing. Okay. So when you do get into those conversations with people, how do you do it? You're going to be interested in them. Offer helpful insights, offer them resources, always open-ended questions. When you go to make comments, it's got to be at least 5 words. It needs to be an open-ended question. It can be right there in the comments of their post. That's where we're first going to target. Okay. Now remember, I said this is Facebook. Rules for Instagram are different. We're talking Facebook. The goal is to grow your audience by getting more eyeballs on your content. Okay, right now, moving forward, guess what? You're a content creator. That's what you are. You have to create appealing content in order to utilize social media to attract new followers. People are going to be coming to you. You just watch. You provide great content. You provide resources to people. You give them value. You become, kind of like their little Google search, and it will increase your visibility, and you're going to attract new followers. Okay. So remember, we're on step 1. The name of the game is visibility. I'm going to stop right here for a minute. I'm going to show you something that we put together for you that I'm very, very excited about. This you all have access to. It's already posted in both, Jana, you correct me if I'm wrong. I know that it's already in Team Tiny Pants Builders. Is it also in the Rank Makers chat? It may or may not be. I'm not sure. Jana's going to let us know. But this is what it looks like. And I want you to.
They would have to scroll up so much in Rank Maker chat, but it's in Builder, and both the ramp up right now and the ongoing and the tools are under featured.
Okay, features, y'all. So remember that word, feature, feature, feature. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this little diagram at the top that we've put together for you. So I wanted this to show you all 4 of the steps, and I wanted you to see that this is circular, this is infinity, this is ongoing. You're going to do this and do this and do this and do this. But the one at the very top says visibility, 15 minutes. That's the first element. You cannot skip this part ever, 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 ever. You can never again. When we know better, we do better. So I'm going to tell you right now, so we can't ever do this again. You cannot, what Kristen Boss calls post and ghost. You cannot go on and do your post and go away. Visibility every single time has to come before you're posting. Every single time. Okay. We're going to do 15 minutes of visibility. So element 1 is visibility. Now on day 1, on your chart, you're going to see a V in this first circle. That V stands for visibility. Once you know all 5 of these elements that we're going to teach, What you're going to do on whatever day one is for you, you're just going to circle it or check it or exit or whatever you want to do. The V for visibility. I'll go ahead and tell you what the others are. One, the next is sharing. That's where you post or do a reel or do a live. Then engagement, and then follow up. Those are the 4 things that you're going to do every day. And the G on this particular document, I put that in there for growth because we're going to do that too. Here's the most important part. Let's say today's day 1, okay? Tomorrow's going to be day 2. Okay, you don't get to start over. You need to know when you get to the end of these 14 days, I want you to be able to look at this honestly, because y'all, you're the only one who's going to see it, right? I want you to be able to look at this and go, oh, I see a problem here. On Monday, I did all 5 things, but Tuesday, I only did 1 of them. Wednesday, I didn't do anything at all. Thursday, I didn't do anything at all. Friday, and then I decided to wait till Monday. So guess what? You're going to be able to look in here and go, okay, in 14 days, how many days did I actually do the visibility piece and the sharing piece, the engagement and follow up? You don't start over. So if you do this today and then for whatever reason life happens and you don't do it again till next Monday, this is something I've recently learned. It's really helped me. The next Monday's not day 2. Okay. Next Monday's day 8. Okay. You're going to see what your consistency is. Don't lie to yourself. Don't cheat on yourself. Okay. Now for me, I don't work my Zingular business on day 7. I already know that. I know my day 7 is going to be empty, and that's okay. I pre-decided. I might do some follow-up that day, or if I need to be on a call with someone, but as a general rule, I don't work on Sunday, and that's okay. I can look at this and go, oh, that was Sunday. That's why. But I don't want you to start over. If you decide today's your day 1, you may decide next Monday, once you know all the elements, is your day 1. Whatever it is, the days you don't do, you don't message, you don't put anything on those days, you don't start over. That's how you'll find out what your consistency trends are. Okay, it's the same way with your weight loss journey. I promise you, if you don't stop, if you don't keep starting over, I promise you, you'll get to see your consistency and you'll figure out where your issues are. Okay, so today's visibility. What makes you visible? You cannot skip this step. Again, work your room. You have to go to their stories and their posts, and you've got to comment. Okay, so go to their recent post, find it, make a meaningful comment of some sort. That's where you boost this algorithm in your favor. Y'all, this is not to make a sale. This is to get into conversations. We're not talking about making sales right now. This is to get into meaningful conversations and to start being friendly and being social. This isn't where you pitch them. Now, at first, it might feel like this is really slow because the conversation, just like in a relationship, right? This isn't a one-night stand. You are courting somebody. You're going to their stuff. You're talking to them. You're getting to know them. All the other is going to come later. So it may feel slow at first. Remember, this is the long game. This is not the short game. So to kind of wrap all this up, if you go to your own friends list, that's where you could start, or your own follower list. And you can make a list if you want to of the people that you want to engage with. That would be called your engagement list. If you want, you can just turn it over on the back of this. Now, you're going to have this 2 different ways real quick. This is day 1 through 28. It can also be, you can also cut it in half if you have a smaller binder or small space and you want to keep this with you. It's only 14 days, but if you want all 28, you would do this. I even have one on there for you that is 14 days on just one big page. Okay, but you can put it on the back if you want your engagement list. Maybe you pick 10 people or 20 people right now. And you're like, okay, these are the 10 to 20 people. I'm going to go to their page. I'm going to engage with them. I'm going to start to build a relationship. We're in the relationship building business. Choose 10 to 20 people, depending on how fast you can go. But you need to pace yourself, because as you get into your power hour, you have to engage with at least 10 people in 15 minutes. Because in your power hour, this segment's only going to be 15 minutes, your first 15 minutes of your power hour. So you're going to try to figure out who your 10 to 20 people are. You are not going to scroll. You don't have time to scroll. Okay. This isn't about scrolling and looking for people to engage with. You can do that, like if you're watching TV or whatnot, or another time that you want to scroll, but this is not about scrolling. Remember, this is about working. Conversations, open-ended questions, 5 words or more. Now, y'all, if their profile's private or they haven't posted in a while, move on. Move on. Okay. If all they do is share other people's content, move on. You're looking to interact with 10 to 20 people in that 15 minutes. You're looking to interact with people that actually have, you would genuinely want to be friends with. You like their stuff. You would genuinely want to interact and be in a conversation. Remember, we talked about the scenario of being at a party or, being at a dinner party or meet and greet or whatever. The people you want to spend your time in conversation with are the people that are enjoyable. So that's what you're looking for. Some people do alphabetical order. They're like, okay, I'm going to go through the alphabet of my friends list and I'm going to find, this many people this week. You can do it however you choose to do it. You also eventually are going to be adding a few new friends a day, but the focus is not on mass adding new friends. At this point forward, I want you adding 3 to 5 new friends a day, but they need to be people you would enjoy being in a conversation with. Okay, this is not about mass adding and just getting to your 5,000 friends as quickly as possible. This is now about conversations. That's what we're doing. We're being social butterfly. This is about conversation. So have integrity. Don't friend them. If you don't know them, you have no connection with them, and they're just a friend of a friend of a friend, don't friend them. You're going to be in so many conversations, you're not going to have time for them anyway if you consistently do this. So use, friend people ethically. If it's someone that you could genuinely say, hey, we worship at the same church, or hey, our kids go to the same school, or our grandsons are on the football team together. If you genuinely have a connection point and you think it's somebody you might like, then that would be the person that you would friend. But don't just friend people just for the sake. You'll hate your feed if you do that. You'll hate going through there and just seeing junk anyway. So don't do it. Okay. To review what we've talked about, if you don't see their content, they're not going to see yours. Just because they follow you or your friends does not mean they're seeing your content. We're going to change that. You're posting and no one is seeing it. You do not have an audience if you're posting, but you're not engaging. So you never miss the engagement piece. Your algorithm's going to learn your behavior. So if the algorithm is going to learn that, oh, hey, Jacqueline goes and she's talking to people, she's social, she's friendly. They're going to learn your behavior and they're going to start showing people your stuff too. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to go to their platform. You're going to go to their Facebook page. You're going to find a post that you genuinely like that's current. I mean, don't go back 2 weeks. People, that's weird. Again, we're all going to be the weird people. You don't want to go back 2 weeks and go, oh, I finally found something I like. But you're going to go to their Facebook page. You're going to like and you're going to comment, ask open-ended questions. Y'all go look at my page if you want to. I'm getting a lot of good engagement, and I've only been doing this a short amount of time. Like, ask open-ended questions, make your engagement list. Who are the people you want to engage with, so that Monday, when we start our power hour, Monday, first one's 11 o'clock. I'm going to be facilitating Monday at 11. That first 15 minutes from 11 to 11:15, you're going to go to their page and you're going to engage with them. So have that list ready of who you want to talk to. Let's see. I want you to try to do 10 to 20, but I don't know. I mean, it just depends on how fast you are. Okay. But I want you to try to do 10 to 20 in that 15 minutes next week. Last thing, because we're out of time. Okay. Last thing on what I want to share. If you use Teamzy, which I love Teamzy, I've changed the way I do Teamzy because of this. I'm sure Jana wouldn't mind if I do a live at some other time and talk about how I'm working this with Teamzy. And so we can do that. The chat doesn't really have any questions, but unmute if you have any feedback, questions. That's why you're on live, to be helpful. to learn yourself, but also to help us. So y'all go ahead and unmute and tell me what questions or comments you have.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
So before I was in the Team Tiny Pants chat and in another chat, and they had said something about not friending other Zingular people, and I guess I missed that. So I did friend some. So am I a bad guy if I go in and unfriend them?
Not at
Like,
all. That's such a good question. So you don't have to unfriend them. And if it's a handful of people and seeing their content inspires you or gives you creative ideas, that's fine to follow or friend other people. Like for example, on my page, you don't have to friend request me. You can just follow me. So we don't have to necessarily be friends. But no, you're not at all a bad guy. Not at all. I would suggest don't comment on their stuff right now because what if you do, Facebook's just going to show you more of their stuff. You can go look and you can get ideas and be inspired. If they post something and you genuinely want you're like, wow, that is so incredible. I love that, or whatever, and you genuinely want to have conversation with them, this is your social media. You can be social with them. But what I'm saying is just know that if you go and you comment on their stuff, you're going to see more of their stuff. It'd be better for you just to follow people, but don't add a bunch of singular people because you're looking. The other thing too, it's Kelsey, right? Is that right?
yes.
Kelsey. Kelsey, you want your own voice. We're going to talk more about this week, but you're looking for your own voice. You are now branding you. And we end up having a lot of new people that all they have, all they're seeing is other singular people. And when I was new, that was exciting. I loved getting to know them, see their stories. I'm not saying you can't have any singular friends, but you don't want your whole feed to be singular people. So yeah, that's a really great question.
So I have seen some Zingular people that I've tried to follow and I can't follow because they don't have that option. How do you make your Facebook to where someone can follow you? Do you know that?
I don't know the answer to that. It's a great question, and we'll make sure your upline gets with you to find that out for you. So
All
great
right,
question.
thank you. You did great.
Great question. And hey, thank you for being on live. We appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, what other questions? I'm trying to go fast, as you can see. Lots to talk about.
I have a question, Lois.
Okay.
So you said get a list of people that you're going to be scrolling, engaging with. What do you like? Is this week that are you using one list per week? Are you making a new list each Monday? Or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, great question. You do not have to have a new list every week. But I know that let's say you put a list of 50 people that you're like, I genuinely like these people. If I wasn't doing this business, this is who I would want to be friends with on Facebook. That's a really great question to ask yourself because if you like the people and you like their content, number one, they're probably gonna like yours, but they also would probably make really good partners for you. But what I would suggest you do is try to make a list of, maybe 40 to 50 people that you want to engage with throughout the week. And then what will automatically happen, this is what's happened. Cheryl and I have been doing this together now for a while, and Katie. But what will naturally happen is they will weed themselves out. Okay. So let's say you've got this list of people and you're engaging and commenting and it doesn't go anywhere. That's not someone that you're going to keep staying in the conversation with, long term. But they will start to kind of weed themselves out. Some of them won't even answer back. That's okay. They're not on social media to actually be social, and that's okay because there's going to be plenty of people. So as far as the next week, whether you come up with a new list, I'll start with that same list that you had the week before, but add to it because some people will fall off and then keep adding to it. Because your question is a great question for one reason. The last thing we ever want anybody to do is only talk to the same people over and over and over. That might feel like being social, but really it's not. Again, in our room scenario, if I was trying to talk to Debbie Hanks and it was awkward, we never really could get the conversation going, and she didn't seem like she was enjoying it all that much. She wasn't asking me questions. I would very nicely move on and start talking to someone else. We already know how to do this, y'all. We are social creatures. We went to high school. We already know how to do this. We just have to implement those same type skills online. And that the people that are good at it, that's all they're doing. They just authentically and kind of intuitively are being social on social media the same way they are in person. So that's a really, really good question. And thank you for being on. That's what we want. We want people to be on this all week and ask questions so that we know what other things to teach on moving forward.
So
Hey,
I
Lois.
just- oh,
Hey,
sorry.
Lois, Cheryl here. So sorry. Would you talk to the fact that one of the things that we were taught was to find somebody you haven't talked to in about 6 months?
Oh, great.
Remember that? Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Real quick, that's another really great tip is to catch up with people. If it's been over 6 months since you've talked to them, you can talk to them again, even if it didn't necessarily go anywhere. If you liked the person, but it just kind of didn't go anywhere, things change. Maybe they were dealing with aging parents and they didn't have the bandwidth to really talk and engage with you. So yeah, go back to those people. And it's as simple as saying, hey, let's catch up. Just catch up with people. What's going on? Are you doing anything this summer? Whatever. Just be human. Just be a human. My nieces call it human. Just be human. Okay. I don't want to go too long. So let's maybe take one more question.
Are you going to be able to do a live on how you have changed your Teamsy?
I'm sure that'd be okay with Jana. She's shaking her
Okay.
head. So the answer is yes. Yeah, happy to do that.
Yeah,
This
I
is gonna
rarely
be
say
really
no to help
basic.
the team be successful. I'm like, no, never help the team be successful. I rarely say that. Now, don't
But y'all
overcomplicate
remember,
or redirect them to shiny things, which is what I'm just going to say this because we don't want to go long and it's not a question, it's a statement. Y'all, these are the foundational things of what we do. And we don't see everybody. Debbie Hanks would not be here without social media. Okay. She saw it another way. Lois wouldn't be here other than social media because that's how her upline knew that I was doing something. We no longer lived near where we could be visible at church or at work. And so y'all, Facebook is what I work. It is not where I get to know my real friends. You know what I mean? Like even my team, we do that on the phone. We do that on a Zoom. We do that at retreats and things like that. I get on social media to work to find other people that deserve to have you. So don't feel bad about stuff like that. This is what we do. We make social media content. So let's move forward with that.
all right. Well, okay. Thank y'all for being on. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 11. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about sharing. So you don't want to miss that. Grab this if you can. Start working on your engagement list. Thanks for being on. We'll see y'all later. Bye,
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Do you see where to end it? Because I can't end it.
I'm looking.
Down at the bottom, it typically says end.
I was going to try to stop. I found it. Thanks,
Okay,
Jana.
perfect. Because mine just says leave. So since I wasn't a co-host, I couldn't do anything about it. So I thought, let me stay on and help her.
Gotcha. Thank you very
All
much.
right. Thank
Bye
you,
now.
Lois. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Bye-bye.